Hello and welcome to another episode of the Contractor Growth Show. My name is Mark. I'm your host. Today I'm speaking with TJ Akabuchi from Mountain View Landscaping in Cromwell, Connecticut. TJ, thanks so much for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Mark. We're very excited.
Fantastic. So you guys have got a great long story. Your dad started the company some 30 odd years ago. Maybe we can just start by telling the audience here what services you guys offer to your customers.
Yeah, so we're a full service landscape maintenance and snow removal company. We specialize in large scale landscape maintenance from multi acre sites, convalescent homes, hospitals, distribution centers, as far as along the lines of that for snow removal as well. We specialize in the snow removal. That's something we've grown substantially in the past 5 to 10 years. We found out that the market's very lucrative and being able to respond, execute, and be that good service partner that some of these customers are looking for when their sites have to run 24/7. So that's been very well. We also do residential outdoor living, hardscaping, patios, walkways, a lot of outdoor kitchens, poolscapes. And then we also have a commercial aspect of it that we do some commercial installs. We've done commercial outdoor kitchens for people at their apartment complexes. They kind of want to spruce that up. So we have a wide range of varieties, but our niche, I would say, is our maintenance and our outdoor living and snow removal.
Great. And I've heard actually the snow removal piece. I mean, that seems like that kind of sets you guys apart in from other landscaping companies. And I've actually heard that's not so easy to do. I mean, there's kind of getting the machines, and I mean, it's a very kind of on off thing. I mean, when it snows, you got to be out there. Sometimes this is happening, almost like at an emergency level.
Mhm.
Um, Tell me about that side of your service and what kind of benefit that provides to your clients.
Yeah, so snow removal, we've grown substantially. We started off just doing, everybody else just doing apartment complexes, small gas stations, stuff like that. But we found out that the larger sites are more beneficial for us. It's like setting up any other job. You got to make sure you have your guys out there, make sure everybody's briefed on what they're doing. It's really intense as far as managing everybody, multi sites. Some of our sites that we do is all just the machines stay on there, the trucks are on there, the guys are on there. Then we do have some route work, we call it, that they'll travel from site to site and they'll open up. And then we have sidewalk crews that follow as well. So everything, we've kind of developed the science behind it all as far as the service levels needed for each customer, too. So that kind of gets brought up right at the initial consultation when you're looking to get us out there and actually service your site or partner with us. So we go through a whole wide range of questions because we want to make sure that we're the right fit for you and also that you're the right fit for us. We have a tendency to over service. The reason we do that is just liability reasons. We want to make sure we're protected. Um, but as far as the snow removal process and how we've gotten to there and what sets us apart is our equipment. I would definitely say we invest a lot into our equipment to help our manpower make their jobs easier. So a couple of years back, they developed this product. It was called the Snow Raider. Since then, LT Rich Boss had bought them out, made it even better. But that was one of the first introductions for us to be able to manage larger sites with more sidewalks with less guys or crew members. So once we get started investing in that equipment, I'm a part of SIMA. I have a mentor that actually works with me and teaches us a lot about the snow removal. He's the one who kind of helped us get us to that level and just kind of opened up our eyes in the sense that, we were doing residential snow. We were doing the small gas stations. We were doing the mom and pop shops. But once you branch away from that, it's a scary thought to get into something bigger. But as long as your numbers line up and you have everything under control and you have the right team in place, everything really gets executed well. But as far as the predictability, that's the hardest part. We live in New England, so a lot of the weather changes on a daily, hourly basis. So one thing that I control personally is I'm always watching the weather during our snowstorms. So I'll be like lead command. And then we have operations guys underneath us, site operators, site supervisors. All of that plays a big part so that I talk to each one of them individually and then they help spread it out amongst their teams. So, but overall, as long as you have a good setup and you want it, that's the key part. A lot of people want to do snow removal, but they don't want it. Like you got to want it to snow in order to want to do this type of business. So if you're happy with the warm weather and everything else, then the snow removal is not your business. But the type of clients that we work with, they need somebody there all the time. And we like to show them that we are that company that produces, that keeps them rolling. We work for some big distribution companies. So they need to be rolling 24/7. So they rely on us to give them suggestions, options, any type of real life info of what's happening out there, what we need to do, what we can do to get the operations rolling. And then at the end of the storm, what else do we need to do? Maybe haul snow. Maybe we got to relocate it, melt it, any different type of scenario. We talk to them, we give them their options, pricing, availability, all different situations. And then we guide them and just try to educate them in the right purpose of what needs for them. Like I said before, we want to make sure that you're the right customer for us as far as us being the right contractor for you.
Yeah, sounds like a really pro operation. So Cromwell is a smaller town between Hartford and New Haven there in Connecticut. What is the kind of radius that you guys work in around Cromwell?
So we kind of cover, I would say, about a 10 to 15 mile radius. If you were to take I-95 and 91, we cover the whole corridor. So from the top all the way up to Mass, we have sites all the way down to New London in kind of towards the Rhode Island area. We're down there. And we also have sites in New Haven. So when it comes to snow, we kind of cover pretty much majority of the state, depending on contract size and capacity of what we can handle too as well. But we generally, if it's the right customer, like I said, and the right fit, we'll do the stretch for them.
I see. So your dad started this company, looks like around 25 years or so ago, 25 plus. And then, you grew up in this industry at whatever level as you were a kid. And then you got an associate's in landscape architecture. Seems like kind of unique. Did you know that, from a young age that this is what you wanted to do and then eventually you'd take on a leadership role in the company?
So I was so fascinated as such a young kid with equipment, like everybody else. And I love the aspect of being outside. I admired my father in every way that he's always provided for us and helped us. And I've always saw that through landscaping. Ever since I was a young kid, 5, 6 years old, I was out in the backyard working with him, whether it was edging beds or doing a cleanup or just putting down mulch. That was one of my favorite things to do, was mulching, because it's that instant gratification. Once everything's cleaned up and you get that mulch down, that's kind of like the end of the project. Everything's looking great and it pulls everything together. But from a young age, I really enjoyed being outdoors. I went to school. I got a degree in landscape design and management. So I started going into that realm, and then we were expanding the business as far as our snow removal and construction services. So I started going into different roles, and I kind of stepped away from the designing aspect and more of a leadership. So from there, I was really running jobs. I was running crews. I was organizing our schedules like I do now, and just kind of going through our sales, trying to find those right customers, get us out of, being just trying to find work versus people wanting to work with us. And once I did that, it kind of really, I enjoy the love of being in the business and working on the business. I love meeting people, the different opportunities that it provides, and just educating people along the way. I'm well versed in a lot of different aspects of this, but I don't know everything. But when I go and meet people and I go to different seminars and I go to different industry meetings that we're a part of, just talking with that, the networking, that's really like what helps my drive with it all. And then just having something to show for it, just knowing that I came into the company at such a young age and I've worked here my whole life, and I've helped them grow this business to where we are today, it is something that's very rewarding. And that also is the drive of just wanting to keep it going and keep doing more business and keep everybody happy and just providing for our employees too as well. Like we talked about it recently. Why are we in this business? A lot of being in this business is we just love the camaraderie of our family that we've built with our business and our employees. So that's a big driver for me as well.
Wow, I love it. How many people do you have on the team?
So for we split it up amongst landscaping and snow removal. For landscaping, we run about 30 to 40 guys depending on the season of what we need. A lot of that's driven by the maintenance contracts. We have more of a set team that does landscape enhancements and hardscapes and outdoor living. And then we have about 5 or 6 people in the office, 2 of them part of our operations team. We have 2 designers on staff too that go out, meet clients, do our outdoor designing, some of our commercial estimating as well. And then when we switch over to the snow side, we ramp up quite a bit. We run about 120 guys. So going from 25 to 40 guys, depending on how the season is, to 125, it's definitely a big ramp up. But like I said before, we have a lot of things in place, systems and managers that come in for the winter time to help us kind of tackle all of that. And a lot of it is reoccurring employees that come in year to year or talk to their friends and their family, and they say, hey, I'm snowbound for this guy, Mountain View. Do you want to come work with them with us? And honestly, that's our best way for us to find employees is just word of mouth. And we find that it brings a good core of people of what we're looking for.
It's a great story. I mean, it's a substantial business. I mean, that's amazing. Can I ask you, TJ? Because I get the sense that your dad started this 26 years ago. Pickup truck and a 48-inch mower.
Yeah.
Now you guys are getting up to 125 guys in the winter. It really requires. It's that doesn't happen by accident, right? Getting to that size, and I'm always interested in leadership. And you've talked about that some. We saw that that's just kind of an important value of yours and your dad's. Can you just give me some insight into that word leadership? I mean, how do you look at leadership and being a good leader and leading a team of this size, in your local marketplace? I mean, people out working every day. I mean, how do you view leadership and how do you execute that?
So leadership in this business, in our business, it's not easy. We have a lot of different talent and we have a lot of different aspects of the business that require people to do and operate differently, such as the employee that's running a weed whacker to the employee that's selling $100,000 job. In the same day, my one thing is I just treat everybody equally. It doesn't matter if you're here picking up litter for us or if you're selling those $100,000 jobs. In the end of the day, you're part of the team. You're helping us do what we need to do to get to be a satisfactory company for that customer and give them the outcome. But a lot of it is that one-on-one time. When you start to work with somebody one-on-one, you really focus in and develop those relationships and you start to learn about that employee. And when you separate the business aspect of it and you just start to become personable with people and you have that relationship, they look at that more than they look at the paycheck. I've had some employees that worked for us in the wintertime, and I'll give you an example on this. He called me up and he couldn't come in for a snowstorm. And like to us, that's like that's a big hurt on us if a driver can't come in. Now we're running around trying to find a driver, but he had called me up and said, hey, my wife's family member's not doing well. I need to go out there and visit her, blah, blah, blah. I know you need me in. If you really need me, I will come into work. But if I can just take care of this, then that would mean the world to me. And my response was, family comes first, handle what you need to handle. We'll figure it out. And to this day, he will tell everybody that story, everybody who works for us, because it made him feel like a sense of being a part of a company versus just working there. he actually, he tells me all the time to this day, like, you don't know how much that meant to me, being able to relieve that stress of not being able to go to the job and I can go handle my family situation. And he's the type of employee that if I call and I need anything, he's there to help me out. And, I do that with a lot of our employees. We're here for business, but at the end of the day, I know we all have our lives and you can't control everything. So when you start to just kind of get down to their level and be perspective with them, they start to respect you more and they'll help you out more. They'll stretch for your business, they'll produce for your business, they'll promote your business. They're proud to be at your business. So a lot of that is just helping. That's what I've noticed in the leadership role, is just actually caring for your employees versus just pushing them around or just making it just a job. Like, being a part of the family is like, we are a family owned business. So when I say you're a part of the family, you're practically a part of the family, because my mother works here, my father works here, my wife works here. Like, we're all here together. So, that was a big driver. And then just leadership in general. A lot of it comes down to just your attitude every day. If you show up with a good attitude and you help people correct their problems versus disciplining them on their problems all the time, they'll respect you a lot more. They'll appreciate that you are there to help them grow as a person versus just pushing them around. And I've found that speaks volume on that. And just being there for your employees, and just anything they need, you help them out with and get them to that next level, and listen to what they want too. Maybe they want some more money, or maybe they just want some more free time. Maybe they're just working too much. And if you can get to that and talk to them and give them that, availability, or maybe you're able to give them a little bit more money, that speaks volume too.
Amazing. Very, very, very wise. And, I'm always learning from folks that we have on the show. And it's just, I'm really lucky to be here and be able to talk with really smart, very wise people about their businesses. Fantastic, TJ. I mean, what does the future look like for you guys? You've got a nice mid-sized business at this point. I mean, are you guys kind of really stable at the place that you're at? Are you still kind of in growth mode?
So that's a question we ask ourselves all the time. What do we want to see in 10 years or the next 5 years? Realistically, we are in a good position. Something we've been working on this year that's huge is organization. Just making sure everybody knows the same systems and policies and processes so that we can grow if we want to. And, I'm always thinking growth, growth, growth. But in the end of the day, you want to grow, but you want to be profitable at it too as well. You don't want to grow by 50% and then it cost you 45% to grow. And then you didn't make any money on the end of the day. That's something that we've always talked about a lot, is we can grow, sell contracts, do the work, get it done. But at the end of the day, our payroll outweighed our contracts and we didn't make any money. Or our trucks were so expensive that they didn't make any money. But a lot of that comes into just organization, I would say. And we try and try and try every year to just, what can we do to be more organized, be more efficient, have the right people? And I think once you find that, the growth isn't the issue, it's the being organized while growing. We've grew to such a size, we had to almost take a step back and say, wow, we need to kind of reorganize a little bit. And then it humbles you, and then you can grow some more. But if you just grow, 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 that's where like those core values that sometimes you try to instill on people get lost, or you're getting people in to work and leave. And like, if you're not following that, and you're losing the quality control, or your quality of just your employees are going down, then you got to kind of relook at something at what you're doing in the business. But for the most part, I mean, I'd like to see us grow some more. I don't know if it's double the size of what we are now, but at least add some more growth and just kind of get some more good key players in place with us to help us get there.
Fantastic. Can I ask, you had mentioned SIMA. Is that kind of a trade group?
Yeah, so
Network?
SIMA is a Snow and Ice and Management Association.
Great. Well, folks, if you're listening to this interview, I just want to point out some of the fantastic wisdom that the TJ is sharing here. First of all, I mean, to build a company that's 40 to 125 people, that's a serious thing. And there's a lot of companies that have been in business for as long as they haven't gotten anywhere near that level. And so whenever I hear folks and they're willing to kind of share some of those numbers, I really pay very careful attention to exactly what they're saying. And I see a lot of interesting kind of overlapping attributes with guests that have got amazing business stories. One is that TJ and his company's, he's got a mentor in SIMA, right? I mean, this is a kind of a learning group and an association, talking a lot about leadership, and ultimately that comes down to respect for your employees and not treating people in a kind of a hierarchical way. Don't grow just for the sake of it. You can grow 50%, but it can cost you 45%. And that's not where we want to go.
Yeah.
And also just a quick mention about core values. Great companies have got their values. They've got them written. They're under their employee to understand what they are, right? They lead with this, right? Am I correct in this, TJ?
Yeah. So that's something we're actually actively working on right now. We've been putting together our company core values and just trying to see how everybody fits into the core values. And one thing that I was taught just recently is when you're coming up with the core values, that's how you hire. That's how you make decisions in your company. That's how you do the right thing. Depending on what your core values are and what you stand for, you want to get people into your business that understand the same thing. Like-minded people will always do well together because they're all on the same page. But if you throw somebody else who's not that like-minded or has the same mentality or same work ethic, I would say, or all going against the same goal, then that one person can cause an issue and bring down the company. And you want to address that sooner than later. But when you have good core values, you use that to help you hire people. And that's what I've been taught. And that's something we're actually implementing now to just help us get the right people, I would say, in the business. Because that's the hardest thing. You can find somebody who's so well versed in this business, but they're just tough to work with because they don't believe in the same things. But you can find somebody who believes in the same things as you and understands, but doesn't know a lick about landscaping, and you can teach them all that, and they'll learn more and they'll want to prosper more with your company because they have the same values as you.
Wow. Amazing wisdom. Fantastic. Well, TJ, if folks are looking for a great company to work with, whether it be commercial, residential, landscaping, hardscaping, doing, some larger builds and, or are looking for a great team to work with, what's the best way to get in touch with Mountain View Landscaping?
You could call our office. The number is 860-632-2496. Email's also great too. I'll put my email up there. It's tj@mvl-llc.com. Or check us out on our website, mvl-llc.com. See what we're all about. And also you can follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook. We're up to date on those. We post some really cool pictures, some good videos of what we do during the wintertime. So if you want to see some exciting snow removal or snow relocation process, it's definitely some good watches we have on there.
Fantastic. So you can head over to their website, like TJ said, MVL, like Mountain View Landscaping, mvl-llc.com. Or get in touch with TJ at mvl-llc.com, or give them a call, 860-632-2496, or check them out Facebook, Instagram. TJ, thanks so much for being with us today and sharing all your knowledge. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Mark.